She doesn't fall for your money. She doesn't fall for your muscles. She doesn't even fall for your words. She falls for something you keep trying to hide. And 99% of men ignore it. You think attraction is created by effort, by proving yourself, by showing how much you care, by trying harder than the next man. But the truth is darker, quieter, almost invisible. Women are drawn to something far more subtle than performance. They are drawn to emotional steadiness, not loud confidence, not rehearsed charm, not dominance, steadiness, a nervous system that doesn't shake when she pulls away, a presence that doesn't panic when she goes silent, a mind that doesn't spiral when she tests your boundaries. You underestimate how rare that is. And because it's rare, it's magnetic. Most men chase validation. They want reassurance. They want to feel chosen. So when they meet a woman they desire, they unconsciously hand her their emotional center. Their mood depends on her response time. Their peace depends on her tone. Their value depends on her attention. They don't even realize it's happening, but she does. And the moment she senses that your emotional state is controlled by her reactions, something shifts inside her. Not because she's cruel, not because she wants power, but because attraction thrives in polarity, not dependency. According to attachment theory, when one partner becomes anxiously attached, the other often unconsciously moves toward avoidance. It's not a strategy. It's a nervous system response. You text her. She replies slowly. Your heart tightens. You send another message. You over-explain. You fill the silence. You think you're showing interest, but what you're really showing is fear of loss. And fear is not attractive. Women are biologically and psychologically wired to seek safety before desire. Safety doesn't mean softness. It doesn't mean constant reassurance. It means emotional regulation. It means your ability to stay grounded when tension rises. When you don't collapse under uncertainty, she feels it. When you don't beg for clarity, she feels that too. There's a quiet moment every woman experiences when she's observing you. You won't see it, but it's there. She's watching how you handle discomfort. She's watching how you react when she disagrees. She's watching how you respond when she withdraws slightly. Not because she's playing games, but because her subconscious is scanning for stability. If your mood changes with every micro-shift in her behavior, she feels unsafe. Not physically, emotionally, and emotional instability kills attraction faster than rejection ever could. The secret of natural attraction is this: emotional self-containment. When you are connected to yourself, when your happiness isn't negotiated, when your boundaries are calm but firm, you create space. And in that space, desire grows. You don't rush to fill silence. You don't overshare to force closeness. You don't try to impress. You simply exist in your own frame. And that's rare. Most men confuse intensity with depth. They believe strong emotion equals strong connection. But depth is not loud. Depth is controlled. It's the ability to feel without reacting impulsively. It's the ability to care without clinging. Imagine this. She cancels a date last minute. Most men either get angry or overly understanding. Both reactions are emotional. One is reactive dominance, the other is fearful compliance. But the man who understands natural attraction does something different. He stays neutral, not cold, not distant, just grounded. He respects his time. He communicates that calmly, and then he moves on with his day. No drama, no silent punishment, no pleading. That steadiness unsettles her in a way she doesn't expect, because now she can't control the emotional rhythm. You can't be manipulated if you're not seeking validation. Research in emotional intelligence shows that people are drawn to those who regulate their emotions effectively. Emotional contagion is real. If you're anxious, she absorbs it. If you're calm, she absorbs that too. Your nervous system speaks louder than your words. You say you want a woman who respects you, but respect is not demanded. It's felt. And it's felt when you respect yourself enough not to overextend, not to over-explain, not to chase. There's something almost cinematic about a man who can sit in silence without discomfort, who can look at a woman with desire but without hunger, who can walk away if his standards aren't met, not as a threat, but as a truth. Women love that, not because it hurts them, but because it signals strength without aggression. Strength isn't loud. It's regulated. You've been taught to perform, to show your value, to compete. But natural attraction isn't created by convincing someone you're worthy. It's created when you already believe it. When you stop trying to win her approval, something shifts. You listen more. You react less. You observe. You respond intentionally. You allow space. Space is uncomfortable for insecure men. But space is where attraction breathes. Attachment theory explains that secure individuals don't cling or withdraw excessively. They maintain connection while preserving autonomy. That balance is magnetic. It tells her you want her, but you don't need her to survive emotionally. Neediness suffocates desire. Detachment fuels it. But understand this clearly. Detachment is not indifference. It's not coldness. It's not pretending not to care. It's caring without losing yourself. You can desire her deeply. You can feel chemistry. You can imagine a future. But if she senses that losing her would destroy your identity, she feels pressure. And pressure creates resistance. When you're emotionally self-sufficient, she feels freedom instead of responsibility. She can lean toward you instead of carrying you. There's a reason why men who focus on their purpose, their growth, their inner peace often attract more effortlessly. It's not mystical. It's psychological. When your life is full, you don't grip tightly. When your mind is disciplined, you don't spiral at uncertainty. When you have boundaries, you don't tolerate disrespect. And boundaries are seductive, not harsh ultimatums. Calm standards. You don't accept inconsistent behavior. You don't reward mixed signals. You don't negotiate your core values. And you don't announce it dramatically. You simply act accordingly. She feels that you're not afraid to lose her. And that changes everything. Because the paradox of attraction is this: the less you fear loss, the more desirable you become. This doesn't mean you play games. It means you've healed enough not to chase people who pull away. It means you've done the inner work to regulate jealousy, to manage insecurity, to confront your abandonment wounds instead of projecting them onto her. Most men skip this part. They want techniques, lines, strategies, but attraction is energetic. And energy is shaped by your internal state. If you're constantly seeking reassurance, she senses it. If you're constantly trying to prove your worth, she senses that too. And subconsciously, she questions why you don't already feel worthy. Women love a man who can hold emotional tension without collapsing. A man who can hear "I need space" and not interpret it as rejection. A man who can disagree respectfully without raising his voice. A man who doesn't compete for attention. There's a quiet power in restraint, in not reacting immediately, in choosing your words carefully, in knowing that silence can be more impactful than explanation. One practical psychological insight to reflect on: your ability to pause before responding under emotional pressure is directly linked to perceived attractiveness and relational stability. Pause, not because you're calculating, but because you're centered. Imagine sitting across from her in a dimly lit room. She challenges you, tests you subtly. Maybe she questions your ambition. Maybe she brings up a past mistake. Most men rush to defend themselves, to justify, to argue. But you don't. You listen. You acknowledge. You respond without ego. That's rare. And rarity creates value. Emotional control doesn't mean suppression. It means mastery. You feel anger, but you don't let it control your tongue. You feel attraction, but you don't let it control your boundaries. You feel desire, but you don't let it turn into obsession. When you master your impulses, she feels safe exploring her own emotions with you. When she senses that you won't explode, won't crumble, won't chase relentlessly, her guard lowers. Natural attraction is not built in excitement alone. It's built in stability. If you've ever noticed how some men barely try and still attract deeply, this is why. It's not luck. It's internal alignment. They're not performing. They're being. And being is powerful. When you stop trying to control outcomes, your body relaxes. Your voice slows down. Your eye contact becomes steady. Your movements become intentional. You're not rushing to impress. You're simply present. Presence is seductive because presence communicates confidence in the moment. It tells her you're not mentally chasing the future or replaying the past. You're here, grounded, watching, listening. Most men live in reaction mode. They react to her beauty, react to her mood, react to her distance. But the man who leads emotionally responds instead of reacts. He understands that attraction is not built through intensity alone, but through consistency, through predictability in character, not predictability in excitement. There's something almost poetic about a man who knows he can walk away and still be whole, not because he wants to, but because he can. When you cultivate inner peace, you stop negotiating for affection. You stop shrinking your standards. You stop overextending to earn love. And paradoxically, that's when love moves closer. You don't need to dominate. You don't need to overwhelm. You don't need to perform masculinity loudly. You just need to regulate yourself when emotions rise. Because when you are calm in chaos, steady in uncertainty and centered in tension, she feels drawn without understanding why. It's not magic, it's psychology. Attraction isn't something you force. It's something you allow by removing the desperation that blocks it. So the next time you feel the urge to double text, to explain yourself excessively, to chase clarity immediately, pause, breathe, return to yourself. Let her come toward you. And if she doesn't, you remain whole. Because the real secret of natural attraction isn't what you say. It isn't what you show. It isn't even what you give. It's who you are when nothing is guaranteed. And when you master that, you won't need to chase at all. You'll simply stand there, calm, unmoved, and unforgettable.